Hey guys, what's up? This is your girl D Brady, and you're now tuned in to the Liquid Era podcast. Thank you guys so much for tuning in again. Thank you guys for supporting Liquid Era. We are almost at 200 downloads, and I'm super excited because I know that we're going to reach 200 downloads or more before this month is up, this crazy ass month. So, thank you guys again. Also, what you know, with the wrap up of this month is the wrap up of the love series, unfortunately. And I'm just super proud of the love series, y'all. Like, I love talking about relationships. I love talking about dating, sex life, and all that stuff. So I just want to say thank you guys to my friends who participated in sending in questions, having me interview them, people who sent in their advice and all this, like, just amazing. Following the IG page, liquid_era. And yeah, I'm just super appreciative. Every small step counts to growing Liquid Era. And obviously, I want Liquid Era to grow into a platform that helps other creatives learn and grow as well. So next month, for Women's History Month, I will be interviewing women trailblazers in the entertainment music industry, and getting more of a sense of their journey. There are a lot of women that do a lot of hard work in the background who we don't really see their story and their journey, but we see the product and they make it look so good. And from the jump, before I even got into the music industry, before I even, you know, got a chance to put my foot into the door or whatever, I was researching and looking up these young women who pretty much are paving the way and changing the way how things are being done, and opening doors for women like me. So I would definitely want to give flowers to those who are making that possible, to those ladies. So yeah, stay tuned. If you have any woman in the entertainment music industry that you would want me to interview, go ahead and DM them to me. Podcast IG, liquid_era, or you can email at liquidera6@gmail.com. You already know. And I would definitely reach out. I've already lined up a couple and putting that into motion. You already know. I'm super excited because I think this is the this is where I want to mainly focus on for Liquid Era. You guys are growing with me, so you guys are going to, see the change and everything that's happening with Liquid Era as it grows. But majority, the foundation of Liquid Era, I want you guys to know again that it is based on entertainment, music industry, film, all that type of things. And I really want to help creatives learn and be able to get mentors and those type of opportunities to grow, those who are worthy and have the work ethic to do so, to grow. Because for someone like me, when I first came into the music and entertainment industry, I didn't have a lot of that. And I had to learn from experience. And like I was in the damn 90s. And you thought it was going to be easy, but there's so much lessons to learn. And I really just want to be able to just help people get that experience listening and learning from my podcast, from Liquid Era. Obviously, it's a lifestyle, y'all. Get with it. But to end off this love series, we're going to talk about self-love. How are you treating yourself mentally, physically, emotionally in order to be strong and know what you want from not even just a relationship, but friendships as well? Okay, so let's get into it. So I know this month was all about love, but how ironic is it that this month has been literally the hardest month for me thus far? Like, I'm not even playing. Like, I've spent a lot of time in my head, which isn't good at all. If you know me, I do not need to be in my head at all. There are a few situations that have changed that really actually caused me to experience a slight depression. And how I knew that I had a slight depression was because I was heavily sleeping. My emotions were up and down. I had a loss of appetite. Not wanting to go anywhere. At first, it was very weird because the type of person that I am, I'm never down for long. Never. I love telling jokes and all that stuff, but this time it was like an outer body experience. So you know when like you're texting your friends and you write LMAO, but your face on the outside is super serious. That's how it was pretty much. I would talk to my friends regularly, make jokes, but inside my head, I'm just not fully 100% myself. So it just seemed like everything that has been piling up on me for months, such as losing people that I thought would never do me a certain way, dealing with family issues, to experiencing just being burnt out at work. And we're going to get into being burnt out at work for the Women's History Month. But yeah, it was just a lot. I was literally battling myself mentally, and this month have made me realize everything that I was facing, literally. And it honestly feels like Rihanna's song, What Now? Like if you know, I'm a part of Rihanna Navy. So if you know her song What Now, you just know. Like I was saying that I was sing my soul to that song because it's like, what now? What do you want from me? Like, really, when do I see the rainbow at the end of the tunnel, Lord Jesus? But I know that things take time. Not every situation is permanent, everything is temporary, So it's just really funny how in this moment though, in the midst of this, people were still or are still asking me for help and advice. And like I said, I don't mind. I want y'all to send in your questions, send in your advice, like your thoughts, all of that. Like I really want more engagement for Liquid Era. Obviously, I'm talking about outside of Liquid Era. This is pertaining to more of my career and people pretty much picking my brain. And you have to know the boundaries of when somebody is just wanting advice that they would usually have to pay somebody to give them this type of advice, like consultation, and someone who's just simply just asking like, yo, I'm lost, I don't know what to do. You know what I'm saying? So to give guidance, and there's a difference. And it was more so of people coming up to me trying to make conversation on shit that you should be paying me for this for. Like, you know what I'm saying? And at this time, it's just not the time. But naturally, me being me, if I had the knowledge, I'm going to share off rip, even if I'm supposed to be charging for it. It just naturally comes to me. And especially for, someone or some people that I know you. So it's like, of course, yeah, so it's kind of hard at that state. But being naive, you will learn. So yeah, I realized giving that boundary is important and started giving more of that energy to myself. So saying yes to myself more, pretty much. But, let's get into those steps of saying yes to myself and what I was actually doing. Okay. So let's get into it. So here are some ways that I started getting out of that funk that you may find as helpful as well. These are things that I did that I considered saying yes to myself, big or small. So number one, acknowledge that you are just not yourself. Don't keep pushing it under the rug and pretending to be good, like having a mask on your face. It's okay to not be okay, y'all. I know some people can easily say, don't let yourself be down, pick yourself up. Those are definitely true, but you have to allow yourself to feel through the bad. It can take days, it can take weeks, it can take months, but as long as you are doing something, doing actions within that time frame, to make yourself feel better, the better that at the end of it, it'll be quicker to get to that other side to see the rainbow, pretty much. So that's pretty much what I had to do. I had to acknowledge it. I had to really think, I'm like, man, am I depressed? Like, you just never think that you would get into that moment, but it's possible. It's definitely possible. And it took me a little minute to actually acknowledge it. I was just working through it, honestly. I was working through it until I crashed. And I was just like, yeah, you gotta acknowledge it now. Cause you heavy sleeping girl. You're just doing it all wrong. So next is number 2, relive something old that made you happy before. So the other day I was on YouTube, right? It was like 2 o'clock in the morning and I found old songs on YouTube that I used to love. Like I'm saying, I came home from school back in the day and hop on YouTube, hop on LimeWire, find these new artists, download their music, watch their videos, learn the lyrics, watch their shows. Like literally, this is like around, I want to say Making the Band was out, like College Hill, Baltimore. Like, the show, the old MTV shows? Like, yes. So that was my happy bubble. So at 2 o'clock in the morning the other night, I was on YouTube in that happy bubble. 2 o'clock in the morning, ain't nobody hitting my phone. Social media is kind of slowing down because it's also on a weekday. So people have work and all that stuff like that. So um literally in my bubble. And I also was writing. I wrote down my goals and everything like that. I was just manifesting my future self. And I felt so good. It reminded me that whatever level of problem I had when that old song came out, I overcame it. So I know for right now, whatever issues that I'm going through right now is temporary. I'm going to overcome it. Period. Period. Number 3, as I mentioned before, I was journaling and manifesting. I do have a Pinterest. So I have private secret Pinterest boards that are like my manifestation boards. And I will go on there throughout the night before I go to bed and scroll and just literally save things to my Pinterest. I find peace in doing that. Um, that's me visualizing everything that I want. My home, my husband, shoe, my ring, my wedding, like all those things all of those things, my career, I'm visually piecing it together and it makes me excited. I love watching YouTube videos that, is people's apartment luxury tours. I'm like, "Ooh, girl, that look nice. I want that." And like, let me tell you, when you prepare or when you put like, I don't want to say imagination, but I guess imagination. So I guess you can compare it to like when you're a little kid. When you're a little kid and you imagine when you're playing outside and you imagine this whole new world and you're going through it and you're playing with your friends and you're playing with fake swords and those type of things, or you're maybe a princess and that imagination should never leave you when you are an adult. Honestly, the only thing that changes is that now you being a princess or you playing in a dungeon or with swords and shit is now your career, your goals, your hubby, all those different things that you see for yourself in the future. You're manifesting that pretty much, you're manifesting that life, that same life that you was enjoying, that you imagined as a kid, you imagining it as an adult that you want to enjoy later on. Future kids, if you even want kids, your wedding, if you want to get married, like those type of things, you are manifesting. And I put so much pride and joy into that because that keeps me going. It gets me excited. I don't know about y'all, but that for me personally, that gets me excited. And I become a little kid again. And I love to write. So that just brought out the little kid in me. So um, number 4, do not stay in the house for too long. Like I'm telling y'all, don't stay in your house for too long, not washing your ass, not brushing your teeth, doing all this crap. Like, no, open up your blinds. You go out on your balcony or go outside for a little bit, take a little walk, come back. That little thing, those little steps, even if you was to go out to take a trash out, that little step is an accomplishment for the day. You did something. Congratulate yourself for that little step because most people cannot do that. Those little things matter. For me personally, I went and took a sexy heels dance class, me being me. And I went and took this sexy heels dance class, but it honestly took a process. And nobody knew this. Probably except for my sister, but I did not want to go. I wanted to stay in bed. I wanted to watch Netflix, Disney, YouTube, all that shit, and just stay home. And I was like, man, but I need to exercise. I need to get out there, you know. So half of me want to stay, half of me don't. I text my sister and I'm like, girl, I don't want to leave. Like, I'm low key depressed. She's like, I know, but you got to go out there and do something, you know. I was like, all right. So I took steps. And my steps was, girl, go ahead and do some laundry. Go ahead and prep your food to cook for when you come back from your dance class. You have food, you know, ready, good and ready for you. When you get home, I put on my little sexy dance clothes, my heels. I stretched. I even watched Aaliyah Janelle's videos on her IG, and I was like, okay, yeah, I want to be sexy like Leah Janelle. So let me go ahead and do this. So I went ahead and mustered up and took those steps, again, those steps to go ahead and go to the dance class. Lo and behold, the dance class was almost canceled because the dance teacher, she almost didn't come because her co-worker passed away. But she was like, I really have to push through this. Something told me to come here and do this. And so all of the money that, that you guys paid to come here to this class, it's only $10, but I'm going to donate it to her family. And that right there made me feel even better that I came because now my money is going towards something great. And, I just did a good deed for the night. And I'm also going to get a good experience out of it. So that was something that had I not gone, girl, you wouldn't have done no deed. You would have been a lazy slob. You know, I took those steps and something great came out of it, and that was a good thing. But lo and behold, y'all, after the Sexy Heels dance class, I literally still kind of felt the same, honestly. And that made me realize that just because you do one thing does not mean that you're instantly going to feel gratification from it. Um, and I'm not gonna say obviously to go ahead and do drugs and go ahead and drink liquor. But when you go out with your friends in a depressive, mode and you did not acknowledge it, you go drink, you smoke and those type of things. And those are antidepressants and it'll make you feel good for that time being. But after when it wears off, you feel lower than low. And yeah, so I wouldn't even do that. So, but after this dance class, me still feeling about myself, it wasn't as bad. So when I got home, I took a shower and do like, regular stuff, took a shower, finish cooking, finish my laundry, those type of things that I had left. And I looked over the video that I had someone take of me dancing and I was like, oh girl, you look good. Yes. And I was like championing myself because I wasn't aware in my head at that time when I was dancing, I wasn't fully like confident. But looking at myself, I look like, bitch, you know exactly what you doing. Get like what? You look good. You look the fuck good. And I was like, you know what? I was so in my head when I was dancing, but looking at this video, like, girl, you knew exactly what you was doing. And you look good. And you should be proud of yourself because you took those steps to actually do that. And you went by yourself. You had no friends with you. You made friends there. Like, be proud of yourself. And that, me getting out of my head and speaking positively to myself is better than any drugs, any liquor, or anything can ever do to anyone. And that was me feeding myself, giving myself the right medicine to get out of that negative space. And from that point on, I felt good. I talked to my homeboy on the phone, helping him out. I felt better to help him out because I felt good. And I did my laundry, I cooked, I went to bed at a decent time, I could actually sleep. Like, it takes steps to get to this. And I was like, all right, Denise, you getting the grip and it feels good. Pat yourself on the back. Now, number 5, the last one, physically. Physically. Last one is physically. Um, when you look good, you feel good. It's as simple as that. So shave your legs, shave your private, you know, do it all, sis. Um, do your hair. You ain't got no money to go get your hair done. Do your natural hair. I know I did my natural hair. I took out my faux locks. I did my natural hair, curled it up. I put on some makeup. Um, dance while I put on my makeup in the mirror, acknowledging how good I look, dressed up nice, took myself to the movies, child. And I went ahead and watched The Photograph. And I also watched Birds of Prey because I love Marvel, DC movies. And I enjoyed myself. I genuinely enjoyed myself. Not because obviously you go to the movies, and stuff like that, but it was on my time. It was on my time. Nobody was rushing me, and it felt great. While you're taking your time, make sure you're still using your time wisely. So even though I'm going through this motion in my head and those type of things, I am taking the necessary steps to get to my better self. I don't need anybody. I'm not looking for validation from anybody but myself, because the main person that you're battling really and truly in your depressive state is yourself, you know? So me taking the time to actually get to know myself and learning myself, acknowledging different things about myself is a breath of fresh air, you know? Rather big or small, just take the time for yourself and understand that this takes time. It's not going to happen the next day or whatever. When you are feeling good, you feel good. And do not beat yourself up when you are back down again. You don't feel good because you're like, oh, it's like going through a breakup, You go through that emotional coaster where at one point you're like, oh, I'm not even thinking about them. Good. Like, I haven't thought about them all day. And then the next day you are thinking about them and you are sad again and you are crying. You are going through an emotional roller coaster. And that is okay. It is okay. Like I said before, it is okay to be okay. Is it okay to acknowledge those feelings and keep it moving? Yes. Is it okay to cry about it? Yes. But are you going to take the actions to actually get through through that tunnel, to continuously have positive and great days? Yes. It's not simple. Nothing worth it ever is. But it's definitely worth it. So I just want to close out this love series episode with that lovely nuggets. And thank you guys again for supporting Liquid Era, for supporting this series, showing me love, sending your love. I'm doing well. I'm doing okay. I'm feeling better than when I first acknowledged that I was in a depressive state. Obviously. And again, I want you guys to share your thoughts, with me. Liquiduira6 at gmail.com. That's LIQUIDERA6 at gmail.com. Also, Liquid Era is on Twitter now. Yes. So you can follow Liquid Era on Twitter, Liquid Era Pod. And, share your thoughts with me on there as well. You can DM me on there. I like tweeting more than Instagram. So I just want to expand, the engagement in the audience. So hit me up on there as well. So we are out. Thank you so much. Again, this is your host, Dee Brady. Bye.